What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on another video here on YouTube from me. I am, of course, DeeO, and this is some real-life riding, strictly laps, whatever you want to call it, from Aztec Raceway just the other day. And pretty good example here because I'm actually behind my buddy Alex, also known as Oni, and I'll have a link down to his channel as he throws a nice one footer there. I follow him around the track, which actually is pretty good because it gives you a sense of the track. And the track was super gnarly this day. The river had ran. Aztec is like in a creek bed. When you go through the sand, you can tell that it's a creek or whatever. But the river ran, so then when they ripped it, it made it really deep and muddy and wet, and you can like see through here. You could see the puddles coming up. And now I know your track gets way worse. Your track is gnarlier, but this is nuts. The GoPro takes away a lot of it, especially since I run it in super view mode. It really kind of flattens everything out. Jumps don't look big, ruts don't look big, whatever. It was gnarly, and maybe your track is gnarlier.
I don't want these goggles to get shredded.
Yes, no tear-offs. Good job, DeeO.
GoPro either, actually, to wipe that off.
Your track might be gnarlier, but at Aztec, we're not used to a very deep track. It's usually pretty hard-packed.
It's really weird.
I keep having to talk over myself. Sometimes we do get ruts a little bit, but this is way worse than anything we're used to. So when I say this is gnarly, it's gnarly for me. And I understand that your tracks may be different. Maybe this is what you ride on daily, but it's not what I'm used to. And then at the same time, like I said, it's way worse in person. It always is. You watch GoPro Ken Roxon.
It's pretty slick around the track right now.
You watch GoPro Ken Roxon, it's like the track doesn't look that bad, and you know it really is, or that jump doesn't look that big. So whatever. But we're just gonna follow Alex here for a lap. I think I just end up passing him. He actually lets me by, but go around him.
Another kicker on that one has like no lip on it. It's really weird.
So I really need to figure out in these videos if I want to talk over them or talk during the video, because right here I'm kind of doing a back and forth monologue, which is not really working too well. But lots of fun. The places you can't see, like this section, that middle section, virtually unrideable.
This inside line that we've now created.
Just because it was so wet, it was so deep. You can see tons of water through there, but it would just suck your front tire, and it was really hard and sketchy to ride in. So we were just going around sections like that, taking the outsides of the track and making do with what we could. But hopefully soon here I'll wick it up and actually make this worth watching. So there we go. Alex looks over his shoulder. I thought he was kind of getting tired of me being behind him, so I just went ahead. So you can see, come over this, you have a few ruts you got to pick from, and then everyone was jumping to the right. You could not go through the left. Walter, who you may have seen in my videos before, I guess he went in there and crashed really hard because it just sucks your front. You can't even get on the back and power through it. It was too gnarly. And nice big rut on that inside line, really fun to catch. You guys know I usually don't take this outside, but that inside over the roller was really deep too, so I was taking the outside to at least try and carry some on my speed. Kind of blowing it, kind of pushing it really far outside. And that section, again, the inside you couldn't even take. This corner, you could take different lines. That one wasn't too bad. That tabletop, I said it on the last lap, but it had some really weird kickers that Aztec usually doesn't have, so I'm kind of bummed about that. Hopefully they fix the jumps up here soon. After this left-hander, we're going to jump back down into the creek. So this is where the creek actually runs through from right to left. You can envision that. Pretty gnarly ruts through there, and it even had a little kicker. You see me kind of get up on the front end there, go over a little bump, and it popped the front end up. This section, nuts. That left side, there was the far left and the far right, and as you can hear, I say shit as I blow the line, try to get back on track. But again, it was really challenging. It was a lot of fun because at the start of the day, it was really hard. This section, you could only take this right side. Yes, there are lines on the left that people tried once or twice, but everyone was going far outside. I'm not kidding you guys when I'm saying how bad the track was. It's not that we're a bunch of dorks over here and we don't know how to ride our dirt bikes. The track was bad. Like, parts of the track were unrideable and we had to make do where we could. But it was really fun because at the start of the day, some of it was unrideable. We had to kind of create our own lines. And then once those lines broke in, they made for some amazing ruts. Like this rut right here. Look at that all the way around the corner. If you follow me on Instagram at DeeO or Twitter at Return of DeeO or on Facebook Return of DeeO, you already seen video of that corner from first and third person just ripping around it, which I was really happy with. But it was a lot of fun. I feel like in this day I learned a lot, and you can see it kind of get some head shake there. And this section, super gnarly, had to just pick a line and just hold yourself to it. And I felt like I learned a lot with, you know, not looking right at your front tire. That's when you were going to make a mistake and miss a rut. You had to get yourself into a rut and then look ahead and look where you wanted to go. And I know, looking at this GoPro, I must have had my GoPro aimed pretty low because it looks like I'm looking down a lot. but I was really working on looking a lot higher and focusing more on where I wanted to go, which leads you naturally to bring your bike to where you want to go. It's the same kind of thing. If you're going off the track and you're staring right at a hay bale, you're gonna hit the hay bale. It's object fixation. You gotta look where you want to go, and your body will follow. If you look at something you don't want to hit, if you stare at what you don't want to hit, that's exactly what you're gonna hit. But the same kind of theory goes for the ruts. So you get into these ruts, and you just got to trust that the bike's going to say it. Get in this right-hander, just look up, and then just power through, and the bike's going to pull around. It's when you start looking straight down at your front fender that you're going to screw yourself over and go over the bars or crash or tip over, or even just miss your line, as simple as that. That guy got all gnarly on me, and I thought he was going to give me a little run for my money, and then he just pulled off, but that was all good. So you can see pretty much I'm just hitting the same lines over and over, not really venturing out. I had my lines pretty set with what I was happy with on the track, and really had no reason to mix it up. There is one that I do change up, I'm pretty sure, within this video, and that's going to be after this left-hander, after the little double, which I wasn't doubling because I wanted to set myself up for these ruts. So this little double, I could double it, but I wanted to set up better from the ruts. I started taking this far inside, which actually ended up being, I think, a better line, so I really should have been taking that longer. But that's the kind of thing, you kind of get into your mode, you hit the same lines over and over, and then you never venture outside of them. Of course, in a race, if you're coming up on a lapper, or if you're trying to pass someone, then you can venture out. And actually, as I say that, I take an outside line there, which you can tell is different. But when you're riding just kind of laps just mindlessly on your own, you usually fall into a trap of hitting the same lines and not really switching your style up. But at the same time, I think that's kind of good, being consistent, hitting the same line lap after lap. And yet again there, I guess I just totally lied to you guys, because I hit that inside after taking the outside the last lap. So maybe I was actually searching around for lines a bit more than I remember. And if you guys don't know, the way I do these videos, I ride, and then when I go back and do them, I don't watch them first. I watch them while talking for the first time, so some of this stuff kind of surprises me. But I also don't bore myself. Sometimes I have watched it at first and I'm like, oh, that was awesome, and I get all hyped, and then when I watch it back a second time, I almost have to like fake that excitement and be all like, oh, that was so cool, and you can just tell that it isn't. So that jump, if you saw that, how that kicked me in the middle there, it had a really weird kick here that pop you really high, but if you hit to the left of that, you got no pop and you'd case the jump. So it was you really had to be aware of where you're hitting, and I obviously wasn't. I hit that thing, got popped way up and over the landing, and it was pretty, it wasn't sketchy, I didn't almost go down, but I wasn't really prepared for it. And like I said earlier on the GoPro, they did just water, you can see the shininess on some of this, so that's when the 450 is so nice. You just shift up a gear and just take it easy. So here we go. Let's see. This is where the guy takes my line, so I take the inside. This is what I'm saying. You can mix up the lines when you come up on lappers. And yes, we weren't in a race. It wasn't a true lapper, but you can essentially envision that's what it was. So no lines through here, so I just followed him, and then I'm pretty sure he cuts back to the left, and I just go around him. Yet again, you guys, that inside, you could not hit the finish and go through that like fast. Just believe me on that. Maybe the local pros, my skill level, most of you watching this, our skill level, we couldn't hit that. Let's just all be in this together. I think it's really funny when people watch these videos and act like they're the best rider in the world, and it's like, dude, I never said that I was that good. Okay, I'm a Colorado B rider, mid-pack B rider at that, so whatever. Alright, so let's see what else is going on here as I get off my soapbox. Nothing too crazy. I wasn't able to push too hard, like I said, the ruts and it being slick. I was just trying to ride up a gear and just kind of keep it in the low RPMs. You don't want to be screaming a 4-stroke no matter what, but especially in conditions like this. You just want to kind of lug the bike around. That's how you're going to go fast without spending too much energy. A really good example of that, if you ever listen to a Pulp MX show, they talk about it, but look at how Justin Barcia rides. And that time I hit where it doesn't have a lip on that jump, so I kind of cased it. Justin Barcia revs the poop out of his 450. It is not the smart way to ride a 450. If you're on a 125 or a 250 2-stroke, yes sir, ring that bad boy out. That's how you do it. But on a 450, you got to ride in the low RPMs. David Villeman talks about it all the time. Shift up a gear, keep it at low RPMs. It makes the whole bike work better. With how the engine is turning, it's helping the suspension. Everything just works better. When you're revving it out, nice corner there. When you're revving it out, you're changing how the whole bike functions together, the chassis and the suspension, and just how everything is molded together. You're making the bike harder to ride, and A lot of people feel that's why Justin Barcia is having so much trouble, but you watch Ken Roczen, and he's not screaming the bike around the track. He's just leisurely riding it. Looks like he's not even trying. You know, Dungey, of course, he's hurt now, but that's how Dungey is too. And it really helps when you ride on a track like this. It really helps you to think about that and shift up a gear. And you don't need to be, you know, making noise going around a corner, making a lot of noise doesn't equate to going fast. It's useless energy that's not moving you forward at a, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm no physicist, obviously, but you don't need to rev out the bike. That's really what I'm getting to. So this was really nice practice for that, and really nice practice for the ruts. So I think this is the last lap. We're going to go around one last time. You can see that little bump through the creek. But you guys, I had said I was going to try to do Thunder Valley or something. Thunder Valley actually has a race this weekend, and I don't have as much money as I thought I had. So I'm going to take another week at Aztec this Saturday. I hope you guys will enjoy it. I know I say it pretty often, like, oh, I'm sorry, it's Aztec again, but hey, you don't have to click on the video if you don't want. So I'll be at Aztec again. Should have a good group of guys going. I'm sure my dad will be there, so I'll have some third-person footage. Should be an awesome video. Hopefully have a good old day with DeeO at Aztec. But let's finish this lap up here. I started my outro a little early there. Yeah, just one last time. Again, just nice and smooth on the throttle, just rolling it on, not trying to pop it, not trying to pop the clutch or get crazy. Just roll on the power nice and smooth and just get around the corner efficiently. That's the word I was looking for earlier, just efficiently. So again, grab that inside because I actually really liked it from when I went around Alex and the lap before. And that's when I pull off. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. As Byron comes around here, we give each other a little fake out. I throw my arms up in a joking manner. It's all in good fun. But you guys, I will catch you Saturday.
Finally figured out those ruts a little bit. They dried up some too, which helped. But that's going to do it for the day.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, as always, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it twice. And if you haven't enjoyed this video, click on subscribe for more. I do real life riding around tracks in Colorado. I have a few different series I do of real life riding. You might enjoy those. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you later.